Have you ever played a game as a child and absolutely hated it? Well, not hated it, but not liked it. There is a correct answer, by the way. Yes. For me, that game, along with other things, was Fallout New Vegas. However, I bought it on Steam this time. For the last 72 hours I've owned Fallout New Vegas on PC, I've played 32 hours of this game. I was hooked. But why did I not like this game when I first picked it up all those years ago? 5 words. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I was new to Skyrim, and when I saw the Bethesda logo on the box of Fallout New Vegas, I tried to play it like Skyrim. Haha, Deathclaws, Smethclaws. It's an open world game, I go where I please. Oh. I'm getting Deathclawed. I was disappointed with the game. Not because I thought it was bad, it just wasn't what I thought it would be. Now, playing Fallout New Vegas the way it was intended as a grown-ass 17-year-old, I'm still disappointed, but not for the same reason. Now, if you're gonna sit there and tell me about why the writing and gameplay of Fallout New Vegas is amazing and it was way better than anything Bethesda could have done, don't. Just hear me out. And if you're not gonna do that, well, Fallout New Vegas is amazing. Go give Bethesdian all your money. It's good. It's real good. And like Yes Man, I'm not just saying that because I have to. Now let's get on with Novados's wanker anything that isn't Skyrim sucks review. When I first booted up Fallout New Vegas, I immediately closed the game because I didn't set the game to run at the correct resolution. I mean, I expected the worst. Okay, that's a little bit extreme. I expected another Oblivion situation. Actually saying that out loud kind of makes me retract my previous statement. But then, I got shot in the head. In game, I mean, I'm not a ghost. Honest.
You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
For some reason, this opening grabbed me, unlike Oblivion or even Skyrim for that matter. Unlike both of those games, the intro was mercifully short. 10 minutes later, I started the game proper. I spoke to Sunny Smiles and asked around about where the shooter went. Asking the people around Goodspearings about my attacker made me do something I've only done with one other NPC in previous games. Approach them like reasonable people, with friends, goals, relationships and so on. Until now, I genuinely didn't think it was possible to do this on such a large scale. Until now, the only video game character that came close to Sunny Smiles, Ringo, Trudy or Easy Pete was Serena. It took Bethesda an extra year and an expansion to write one character that was even comparable to 4 characters from the starting town in Fallout New Vegas. Yes, you can argue Serena has more dialogue options because it's true, but she is only one character. Meanwhile, there are minor characters in Fallout New Vegas that have less dialogue options, but just feel better. Like O'Hanrahan. Yes, that doesn't sound right, I know, but it's how it reads and I've never heard it said in games, so go with it. As a microcosm of what I'm talking about. O'Hanrahan is, to the best of my knowledge, the largest human NPC in Fallout New Vegas, and is one of the NCR's Misfits, a young group of undisciplined and underperforming soldiers. He barely has a paragraph of spoken dialogue, yet the way he's written makes him feel like a real yet quiet person, and I've fallen in love with him. He'll explain to you that he only joined the New California Republic, the in-game equivalent to the US Army in our world, simply to help his family survive a few years of bad harvest. And he'll also explain to you that he's the biggest softie. He grew up being the biggest and strongest of his family, and was in turn told to watch how he treated others because of this. This is also shown in-game by the way he treats the other misfits. He's a real gentle giant, and despite how stereotypical that character is, he still feels real.
The Misfits' laziness caught up with them when the Legion attacked Camp Golf. Those who weren't killed in the attack attempted to flee, but were caught at Mojave Outpost, court-martialed and hanged from the Ranger Monument.
And then I learned he was hanged when I completed my first playthrough of the game. The quality of the writing made me feel almost grief. Not only was a caring, gentle, likable character killed by a faction that I mostly supported throughout my playthrough, his family won't survive either since O'Hanrahan was providing the sole source of income. Let me remind you, O'Hanrahan is a minor character and has barely a paragraph of dialogue, and I felt legitimate grief when I learned he was sentenced to die. If that doesn't speak volumes about Obsidian's writing quality, I don't know what is. Speaking about talking to people... Okay, I feel a little embarrassed admitting this, but until I played Fallout New Vegas, I legitimately thought that the speech skill were a waste of a perk, because in every other Western role-playing game I've played, it's been pissing useless. Ooh, I get slightly better prices from vendors I never use. That's definitely where I should be putting my perks. But then I quickly changed my tune when I found the amount of encounters you can outwit with a high speech level almost made the combat seem boring. Almost. I have the bloody mess perk. In fact, I leveled up my speech to 100 in New Vegas, and it was my first skill to level up to 100. Talking down entire armies is fun, and Fallout New Vegas taught me the importance of the speech skill. Contrast this with, well, literally anything Bethesda has made. You often have one or two dialogue options, and more often than not, both answers lead to the same result. The only time speech comes up is in certain answers that have a percentage for success. Subsequently, this makes nearly every character in the game disposable. You can speak to dozens of people, but they won't have a personality between them, and because of the underdeveloped speech skill, neither do you. I never felt invested in anything playing Skyrim, and I can barely bring myself to remember any of the characters. Let's see, there's Cicero, Astrid, Kodlak, Ulfric, Rayloff, Pikachu, all your favourites. That's all the characters I can think of / make up off the top of my head, and I've been playing Skyrim for nearly 5 years now. This is where Fallout New Vegas starts to get a little disappointing for me. Not because it's bad, but because of a few design decisions that really annoy me. Remember in my Skyrim video when I said I don't like games telling me what content I can and can't experience? This goes for you too, Obsidian. At least let me attempt to lockpick high-level locks. Do you know how satisfying it is to put no points into lockpicking in Skyrim and still one-shot master-level locks? It's testing my skill, not just where I choose to put my perks. This may seem minor, but there's little restrictions like this that do hamper the experience for me. It feels as if Obsidian were over-RPGing the game. I know that sounds a bit absurd, but it's how I felt. Speaking of disappointing, Fallout New Vegas has endings. Woo, big shock, I know. But I wish it didn't. Let's look at O'Hanrahan again. Imagine how much more impactful his death would have been if the next time you went to the outpost, I was taken into a cutscene and forced to watch him hang. I'd be crying my eyes out in the corner. Don't misunderstand, I don't think my ending was bad. I just wish New Vegas took the Skyrim approach and let us continue playing after the end condition was met. Look, I fully understand that Obsidian did so much work writing all the different endings and successfully creating a sense that the player is affecting the world. I just wish there was more of it. I wish I could see how the Wasteland worked under my control. I wish I could have seen the places I visit after most of the characters either live happily or die horribly. But more importantly than that, I wish the ending was more than a slideshow. The ending felt like it got cut off just before the climax of the story. I'll use going to Sovngarde and Skyrim as a demonstration of what I'm talking about. And so, the Dragonborn was transported to Sovngarde. After proving his mettle against the Doorman, the Dragonborn was allowed to enter the Hall of Valor. It was here he gathered the greatest heroes of Tamriel to face Alduin and his desire to eat the world. The Dragonborn and his army of 4 people used the Clear Sky Shout to dispel Alduin's foggy camouflage. After the Dragonborn yelled at Alduin some more, the Dragonborn sent Alduin's soul back to Akantosh, postponing the end of this Kelpa for at least a few thousand years. Look, what I'm getting at here was that my ending was satisfying, but it felt like I should be playing it. Speaking of ending, I really like Fallout New Vegas. In fact, I might like it more than Skyrim. I've got a few more playthroughs to do first before I can make that call. The amount of time, work and passion Obsidian put into this game is immediately apparent. Play it how you're supposed to and you'll probably have a good time.